So, you know, in our tradition, we use a lot of vocabulary that's related to buying and selling one another. It kind of imparts on each other that when, at least when it's, I mean, I'm not saying that for real sales externally don't happen, but we only have so much brain space, and it helps us practice the idea that you can screw up. And if you do, it can be a different thing than if you're just being, okay, now your grandfather's in charge of you, now your mother's the boss, you know, that kind of thing. So using the same vocabulary helps you understand that if you really screw up and armed thugs come in and say, look, unless you send 15 of your villagers off with us, we're going to burn the entire place down and kill everybody here, it lets people know which 15 we're going to sell. So they can prepare, you know, because that shit really happens out there on the steppes and around here, you know, when you think about it. And so, anyway, but the thing is, you know, my grandfather actually did die, you know. Men can live a very long time, but there's a hierarchy, and if they're not in the right position in the hierarchy, then they have to reposition themselves through family repositioning, which means they gotta die. And then the chances of being reborn are actually pretty small. So they have to be had their act pretty well together, you know. So anyway, but at the same time, we time travel. So you know, we talk to each other throughout the times in our minds, and when you do take a new rebirth, you're really not the same person. I mean, you kind of are, but it takes a while before you really consolidate the whole identity. So it does, different experiences, different points of view, and different choices are made. And when you are your own ancestor, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, the best thing that sometimes you could do for a son is to sell him to his own ancestor. It's kind of file that under to your own self, be true. But also, it kind of sends a message, should anything happen, that armed thugs just come in and take who they want. You know, you could move someone around and contain them in various ways, but that's not really the same thing as owning them, especially when they belong to something enduring. So, anyway, I don't really have time in a 4-minute video to get into all the different specifics of why we chose certain different types of vocabulary, but yeah. So Bubba's sister, who was working for her father, Frogman, was really hoping to make like another, you know, prostitute's accessory out of Bubba. You know, and he showed up back here hoping to see the baby, not just to see the baby, but to take the baby. And you know, we just don't let that happen. And we're extending the policy on who to punch when somebody needs to be punched, especially to the accessory babies.